All right.
Welcome back. Episode 10, I think.
9.
9.
Nine.
Jumping the gun.
Almost 10. Next time.
Next time. It'll be deer season when we do 10.
Yes.
Technically, youth.
What do you know?
Oh, not much. Trying to dot the I's and cross the T's and pretty much ready for deer season to get here. You've already been deer hunting. I haven't.
But in doing that, I've completely ignored everything here.
Yeah.
I have not trimmed a stand. I have not checked anything.
Get dead cameras.
I have a dozen dead cameras out there. And, yeah, this week's going to be a hustle. Try to get everything ready for youth.
Yeah, after this episode, we're going to go throw a blind up. At least I am. If you got time.
Yeah, I got
for
nothing.
Jace. So
I got nothing to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's quite a few deer on camera right now. When I went yesterday and overseeded the plot, the west plot at my place looks killer. The turnips are. I put some rye in there too, but I'm guessing that plot will be eaten out by probably mid-October.
Really?
It's small. It's less than an acre. It's probably at an acre, but the deer activity in there is stellar. Every night there's 4 or 5 bucks and some does. So there's one 8-pointer that's got really tall brows. Reminds me of the one back here.
Okay.
And so we might get him a shot. I don't know. We'll see. I talked to the neighbor today at Quick Star when I was getting gas, and he's been working on the house. The house is real close, so those deer in the last 20 minutes of light are showing up for the first 10 minutes of light in the morning. So I think with homecoming this week and we got a party Saturday, we'll probably sneak out Saturday night.
Okay.
And either go to the hay bale blind or we'll go we're going to pop up a muddy, I don't know. We might put up one of those, what's the muddy blind that you can see through? No, it's sitting right there. It's inside that bag. You remember the name of it?
No.
Either can I.
Brain fart. I can't remember.
That one, the one that you can see through like half the panels.
Right.
So if it's hot out.
Is it the Vanish? No. Thought maybe that would be somewhat close.
It's pretty cool though. We did a video when we first got them out. Remember that? Walking around.
Turkey.
Yeah.
For turkey season. Yeah. I hunted out of one north of my house for turkey hunting.
I'm going to have to look it up now.
Multiple times, but they're pretty slick. Actually, mine's still out there. I went and put out some more stuff in front of a camera, moved a camera, checked a regular camera, and the grass is grown up all around it. But I talked to the landowner because I was going to go out there and dove hunt right by his machine shed, and so there's a company that's paying for the crop, it's their special seed or whatever, and they will have no hunting until it is combined.
Really?
It's seed corn for
okay.
Bayer.
Okay.
So they were absolutely no hunting till it's out.
They don't want shot or anything.
It's probably a liability thing because while they have product on the ground, they're liable. I'm guessing. I don't know. So I don't think that's going to work for youth season. The only deer out there we're shooting are youth deer. That big one that you were like, oh, he might finish out. I haven't seen him since.
You haven't seen him?
He's over a month.
Maybe he'll show up. Or he's dead from EHD. Let's hope not. But
I doubt it.
So it's the Muddy Preview 2. I think there's a Preview 3 as well, but that's can't really zoom in. You can see through its mesh, and it'll allow some wind to come in too. So this early season hunting will be kind of nice, and Jace will be able to see more too.
Right.
So we'll probably throw that out. And we had 5 blinds downstairs at lunch. I ran down there and grabbed all my blinds. I'm like, oh man, I don't need this many right now. So got a couple of them put up on a platform where Jeff killed his big 8-pointer, where the tornado went through and smashed the muddy bale blind that was on that platform.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'll probably put one there and one at the farm. And I moved the hay bale blind the other day at the lease, and it was kind of comical. I wish someone would have been there to see me. I had my sweatshirt on. It's 75 degrees. It's warm out.
Right.
And I'm pulling the stakes out. I'm trying not to get stung by wasps. And as soon as I get both those stakes, which They were in there pretty good.
They're big stakes.
They are,
though.
yeah. I pushed the blind over and I ran, and I'm looking. There's no, like, I think 2 wasps came out when I first started hitting the side panels.
Right.
But they didn't have any. I think it's so slick inside there. There's no wasp nest. There's no like rigid place besides like on the frame to put a wasp nest. I think in the wind it kind of moves.
That makes
so
sense.
that was nice. That's nice to know. But I moved it a little bit further so Jace can shoot, 80 yards instead of just like 30. So
it looked like you're setting up to shoot where Carlos came out of.
We'll probably set up to shoot there. Secondary.
Okay.
Primary, it'll be down where the deer have been coming out, at least on the wild game. I got a Terracell there. I only got one of those, and
Right.
I didn't have a spot for it, so I put it down there. I have a DS4K Ultimate facing on video mode, like 20-minute delay, so it'd be kind of cool to capture that on video. So we'll see, but it'll be that's why I need the trailer back from me, because Jesse's going to go pick up his hawk blind
Tomorrow
afternoon.
Yeah,
You talked to
I called
Jacob?
him. Yep, called him
Okay.
and going to get that tomorrow. I'll probably run it down Wednesday. I need to talk to my uncle about getting
Get it set up and then
getting it set
trailer
up.
back by
I'll
Friday.
at least have it. I'll build the tower, have the blinds set right there
Yep.
at least. Hopefully, depending on time frame, I'm going to be pinched for time Wednesday. I'm going to try to get down there early. Like, I'm going to leave probably dark
Okay.
just to get down there to start putting stuff together. Hopefully it works out with my uncle and his back's good enough he can get the tractor down there and get it up on there.
Nice.
But I'm going to overseed that whole.
You got a ride today.
I got 200 pounds of rye, and probably 3/4 of it is going in this little spot. And I also have some leftover radishes and
Throw
turnips.
it out. Might as well.
Whatever.
It's
If
not
it
going to grow
greens up, and
bulbs,
if it-
but it'll grow green. Yeah.
And if it doesn't freeze till mid-November, that's still a long time to grow.
Yeah.
That's almost
Especially
2
if we
months.
catch some rains and get some heat and
Yep.
prime conditions. But yeah, so I need the trailer back is why I might go hunt the lease.
Okay.
And I need to road or put the Ranger on the trailer. So with Jace, it would be okay with me.
That's
But
a long walk anyways.
It is. And it's bought the Silent Rider exhaust. It works pretty good. You can see you've seen like commercials and stuff
Yeah.
for them. It does cut down the decibels quite a bit. There's still some more things I need to do to make it quieter, but
That's weird.
You
making a vehicle quieter?
I know. Usually, so like I've always got, I've had a couple Trans Ams. I had a Dodge Ram that put straight pipes. Your truck, it's loud, but ever since I got this EcoBoost, it's like, oh, I like to hear the turbo. I like to be quiet.
Right.
And I'm trying to make things quieter. Before it was, oh, I want people to hear me when I roll by. So
more about functionality than style points.
Right. So I try to be quiet to get in there, but I'll probably drive within 100 yards of the blind. Those deer are pretty used to activity with the neighbor, but it is what it is. First time in's always the best, right?
Right. I mean, even if you get in like a half hour earlier than you normally would, you could probably, honestly, your best bet's probably run all the way to the blind, leave it running, drop stuff off, and then buzz
Try
back.
it out so they hear you.
Yep.
I'll probably park it where I parked the e-bike when I killed Carlos. There's a nice little place that I can drive into a little bit,
Oh, into the tree line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, you have multiple places to go. Man, I'm still struggling. I have had in the last week, I have had a lot more bucks starting to show up. Nothing that I want to shoot, but there's quite a few moving around. And I'm thinking like the back plot where the corn is, I have one camera there.
Yeah.
You know how big that field is.
there
There
could
could be deer
multiple.
coming out all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I might do Wednesday is do like I talked about last time was overloading that field with cameras. Put 3 or 4 more cameras out there just to see what deer are moving around, and they may just be going on the edge and not hitting right there. And if it's low, I mean it's set up pretty low, so if a deer isn't right there, it's not going to get
you'd
them.
be amazed when I talk about this quite a bit. And maybe I haven't talked about it on the podcast that much, but the amount of deer when they're moving, they're literally they have a destination. Like I like to call it linear walking. They're going from point A to point B in the quickest direction. Like last night in particular, my target buck went from inside field of edge of a field and worked across the road in daylight. And I had 3 other cameras. He didn't go by any of those. He just worked that straight line and ran across the road. So
Right.
chances are someone probably seen him or has seen him because he's done this multiple times. But he's point A to point B. And Newt was like that too. Like
Right.
he wasn't zigzagging. He was most direct route and probably using his nose.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
You know, when it gets ruddy and then it's then
But still, I mean, those deer are they're not. I mean, there's places that they feel safe where they're lounging around. But a lot of times, I need to get to the food. I'm gonna get there shortest distance, not have to get harassed by humans or
other animals,
coyotes or other dogs. There's a lot of times dogs chase deer.
Right.
But in this setting anyway, it's kind of cool to follow him from camera to camera, and he was hauling ass across the brome field. So we'll see how that happens, and I'm guessing if I get him shot, it's gonna be early October.
He shed out yet?
No, he's still in velvet, and he's acting very docile, I guess I would put it. So I think the closer we get to October, if he's staying the same pattern, his days are numbered. We'll see, but I know what he does when he drops velvet, and I know where he goes, and I got cameras waiting there for him. So I'm pretty confident that I'll at least know where he's at and which section he's in.
Right.
The fact that getting him killed is going to be a little bit of luck.
It's the 11th today,
Yep.
so doing the podcast earlier in the week, we're busy. So
Yep, we got homecoming, and you got stuff going on
I
with
got
your
work,
girls.
and
Yep.
I got all sorts of stuff. The girls are getting busy with different things, and like I said, all the extra time I got this week is going to be down south setting up some spots. I need to talk to the neighbor and see, because I had two what I would consider probably mature bucks on camera on that farm, not big enough that I really want to shoot, but he would with his bow, to see if he's going to get over there early October, and if not, I'm going to put a blind up on top of the hill for one of the girls during muzzleloader season, or for
Is that back by my hometown?
Yeah.
That one? Nice.
Yeah, I mean, one nice one was in that plot down at the
seen that,
bottom,
yeah.
and then the other one,
The plot looks good too.
it's always wet there, and I mean, I think it's a little bit of everything. I don't know if there's a lot of food. There's clover in there,
Clover, yeah.
but I mean, there's a lot of
It's
weeds.
green, which looks good because we've been in a
Right.
6-week drought. We finally got rain last night, so all that stuff, like the grass looks like this color, the table.
Right,
is
yeah,
dead.
it's
green
rough.
is good. Green browse, the deer are gonna hit it.
And there's does and fawns that go through there every night on camera.
Is it corn in the bottom there?
Yes.
It is. So
Yeah, it's corn.
it's usually better when it's corn if they don't disc it up right away.
Yeah. I mean,
Same scenario everywhere.
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, if they leave the corn and don't mess with it, it's pretty good.
They combine it and then leave it instead of a lot of
Yeah.
times these farmers are gung ho and they disc it the field.
Well,
which
what
rightfully so.
what they've done is they've combined it, chopped it, baled it,
then disc it.
and then disc it.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to hunt here.
And that's been the problem the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, I've seen some big deer. I've had big deer on
Yeah.
camera there. I've probably
You
hunted
had
5
that
or 6 years.
big buck that Dylan ended up shooting the next day, the double
double
beam buck.
Triple beam, yeah.
Triple beam, yeah.
Yeah, during late season. And I hit that Big 10, just brisket shot him
Yep.
that one.
And then you seen the big one
Yeah,
the year before he was real big.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good deer over there, but they've changed the area a lot the last few years.
Yeah, the
so-
management on the other side. Yep, understood.
So it's in the back of my mind, and I probably won't get too crazy till the corn comes out, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
But
it's an option.
Yeah,
It's good to have options.
when the corn comes out, I'll throw half a dozen cameras over there. I got a spot all trimmed out on the other side of the field by the creek that I had one camera there last year, and it was the only shooter I had all year was right there.
Really?
Probably mid-60s. So
Well, you have some options.
There's
That's good.
options.
You,
It's
you can
just-
come hunt my piece too. There's 3 good bucks that are.
right. And
Run around.
we've said it a million times. We know that there's going to be big deer.
Oh yeah.
They'll show up. It's
Yep.
just it's getting to the point now where it's like, hey, okay, now you can show up.
Yeah, and these cell cams give you, intel when they're there. You can hunt them. At least you're in the game. Like if you're just going before these things, what we used to do is just go sit and hunt, which is someone was talking about this earlier this week. It's revolutionized the hunting
Yeah, it was
industry.
posts on Facebook.
Yeah, it's. You can literally not hunt, wait till you get pictures, and go kill a deer, or have a good chance to kill that deer because
Right.
he's in the area.
Cell cams are by far the best hunting innovation in the last 10 years.
Yep, and they keep getting better and better.
Right.
So
Yeah,
even
and-
better from last year.
Yeah, I mean,
quality wise.
they're getting it figured out. You know, they switch stuff up a lot, and it just depends. It really, you
Yep.
know, there's all sorts of settings where you can, whatever scenario you're in, you can get a camera to
Right.
do what you need it to do.
The battery life keeps getting better. The megapixels get better. The picture quality, like everything. The plans are kind of the one things that hopefully eventually will get, really good where everybody can afford 20 to 30 cell cameras.
Right, and that is the big hiccup with pretty much every
I
brand.
mean, it's electronics in general. Like,
Yeah.
you have an iPad, you got to pay for a subscription. Your phones and stuff. So
Right, and that's just part of it. It's like I don't have 3/4 of my cell cameras out right now because I haven't needed to.
Yep.
But we've talked about it in the past. As soon as stuff starts happening, I'll have a dozen in my truck ready to activate when probably starting this week. I may go home because we're going to get done pretty early today. I may go home and do that, get, half a dozen of my cameras ready to put more out when I go down south.
Yeah, and I one thing I did notice, Sunday I went and did some deer stuff after I'd worked, and I noticed the amount of smaller rubs, like those little saplings that were hit, and then in the food plot itself, there was 4 scrapes littered that the deer made, and so we'll see. It'll be nice to see who else shows up. I mean, there's a couple bucks I'm waiting for, but there's quite a few that are hanging out there. And they're probably in the corn, and they're going across the road where the beans have already been picked. So we're going to have some options. I think, if player chips right, we're going to have a pretty good fall. We've already had one deer that was shot down in Kentucky. The video just came out today.
Yeah, posted it today. This is Monday. I'm going to get hunters up.
Hunters, so we have 2 in Kentucky already.
Yep.
We'll probably have hopefully a couple youth hunters go out.
Yeah, I might post on something on our page and see what we have for youth hunters going out.
So you got 2 girls. I got Jace, Shirapi, Christian, his
Ryan
daughter.
Goodvin.
He's got 1 or 2 kids.
1, I think. And then I know quite a few of the team members take cousins or stuff like that.
Yep.
Just
Friends, family friends.
Yeah, we'll just kind of get stuff going. Wisconsin opened today.
Okay.
It looked like Austin was trying to hunt today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been busy. I haven't been looking at Snapchat.
Yeah, what is today, the 11th? Could be.
Yeah, his plots look good.
Imagine what rain will do.
Speaking of that, I've talked to him, and I want to go salmon fishing with him this fall. It's like
You want to go in a couple weeks?
it's like October. I think he says like 20th or so when they start to.
They asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like,
I want to drive up there just to catch one. Like, that looks fun.
right.
That looks like a blast. So
Maybe we should.
hopefully
do it.
we're tagged out. I doubt it, but there's a chance.
If I got to miss a couple days during October, that's fine with me. It's not like it's November.
Yeah, last year, if I could just do that every year, October 7th, be tagged out, that's fun. You should try it.
Yeah, I killed my first deer in October last year, October 25th. First time I've ever killed a
October
buck
25th.
in October. Besides that, when I hit that big 7-pointer in 09, hit him October 3rd.
Oh, yeah. That was early.
Yep.
You should probably try that spot again.
Oh, it's a pain to get to.
Yeah. It's a good spot, though.
I got a camera back in there. That's where the bedroom stand is kind of in that general area, is right there. So the bedroom buck, that big, giant, typical.
That's where they're at, man.
It's a great spot. And that camera's it's still out there. It's just dead.
Loaded with acorns probably in there, too, right now.
That flat doesn't have. It's got some, but the neighbor's cedar thicket is right there.
So right on the
They're
bedding.
right there,
So
and then he's got.
you're
awesome
in it
food.
to win it right there. You're right on top of them.
Yeah, it's typically not an early season thing. It's like when they're starting to run, you just go back in there. I think I've hunted it 5 times in 3 years, and I have let an arrow go twice. So the one that you tried to help me track, it looked better on video than anything, but I just
good deer too, yeah.
barely nicked,
It
barely
happens.
got
It happens to the best of them.
Right. And it was, that deer was, we actually saw him dogging a doe when we were tracking.
Yeah,
So we
he's
knew
fine.
he was fine.
Yeah.
So,
Deer are tough animals.
yep.
So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff to do in preparation. I haven't hung a stand, or I need to get some more ratchet straps. That's one thing I do like to do, like those, like the big game ladder stands that I leave up all year.
Right.
I like to put another, safety ratchet strap on the top of those.
Yep.
And that way, when I'm hunting it, it's not in the back of my mind like, oh, is the strap going to break? Or a lot of times I'll put the strap on and I'll cut the other one because there's so much tension and it's hurting the tree.
Yeah.
There's so many stands out there. Like,
dude, I have so many stands. I have stands that I forgot about that I'll never get in again.
yeah, they've grown around the tree,
Yep.
and it's one thing if it's your property, but if it's someone else's, you want those
Right.
trees to stay healthy. So, yeah, I got some tree stand work to do, more straps put up. Probably hang a couple stands where the Schmedium 10 is.
Okay.
And Brad.
Okay.
That there's a big cottonwood right there, so I'll probably get in there, have an opportunity to ride the Tour V in there and try to go in silent and deadly. So last year before we went in there when we shot Carlos, that spot was hot, and then as soon as you and I and Josh went in there to look for him, super cold. Like the deer never showed back up. Pushed him out of there, which is fine, but it was just kind of cool to see. You're in it to win it at that point. So hopefully you shoot one. If you don't, then moo like a cow, run like a coyote, and get the heck out of there. So
it should be interesting. I don't know. There's so much left to do. I'm like, the more I think,
well, at least the food plot stuff, like, right, I'm done. Like, I'm excited. We got rain. The rye's probably gonna grow. Hopefully, knock on wood.
I mean,
you still got bags to put out. I put 5 bags out Sunday, which is yesterday, right? Yeah. So you still got 4 bags to put out.
Yep. With no rain in the forecast, but got moisture. So at this point, it's just a Hail Mary. Whatever takes.
That rye will take.
Hope and pray that something grows right there, and
you have some green browse for the deer.
Right. But yeah, I got that to do. Nick talked to the farmer about putting in the CRP in the spring, and he's on board with that. Got that all figured out. My stuff's going there. Need to talk to the banker and get all of our information, but
so you can get that.
Yeah,
going.
It probably won't be October 1st, but it should be.
That's cool. So
by the end of October.
Speaking of Nick, little devil, I talked to Josh this morning. We were talking about deer hunting. He's getting back into it. It seems like.
Oh yeah, getting some snaps.
I told him we should get the old real hunting crew back together and hang out or do something, go hunting, whatever. But
right. Well, Nick has to start coming to Ankeny every week.
Good.
For work.
Good. He's gonna stay at your house.
No, he's gonna drive home. He's got a daughter.
Okay. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Under a year, so there's a lot of. At that point, you don't want to be away.
Yeah.
And then they get older and their buttholes.
Yeah, I'm going away. Yeah, like today, my buddy Matt sent me he tried calling me a couple times, and I was where I didn't have any service, and texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go golfing in Kansas City next Monday, Tuesday?" I'm like, "Yep, I do." Right before deer season, so I like to get away, but at the same time, I mean, it's gonna be fun taking Jace out.
Oh yeah, it'll be a blast.
So
yeah, youth season's always fun. It's more frustrating for you than it is for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially if the whole filming aspect. You got to take the bog pod in there. You got to, but it's going to be nice where, like you said, drive the Ranger into the blind, get out everything, put it out, drive away, go park it.
Yep.
Don't make it a hassle and be patient with them, right? Like,
right. The biggest thing is, I mean, what I found is I go over with the kids all the time. I mean, my girls have shot a ton of deer, and I have a trail cam picture, and it's like, all right, now hold up.
Where are you shooting?
Where are you aiming?
Put the crosshairs.
Where are you putting it? Right here, right there, and then just having them be patient and just learn to be patient with them.
Yep.
And don't get in a
if
hurry.
they miss or something happens and the deer spooks. And that's one thing that's nice. These Walker game ears, which I need to get batteries for, the ones that take out the sound, so you can like sit there and talk to them, like, hey, make sure you're whispering, but you can hear me. All right, the deer's there. Go ahead and shoot when you're ready. The safety is off, and you're coaching them through it. You're helping them out. And then when the shot goes off, there's no.
Yeah, it's all muffled.
It muffles it, yeah. So, and those things are cheap. I'm like $30 or $40 at Menards.
They're a great investment.
I mean, go pick some up. That's where I bought mine. Like, we get a discount on them. I just went to Menards and bought them.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, they're slick. I mean, even I use them a lot for if you're trap shooting or even dove hunting. If you're going to be shooting a lot, if I'm by myself, it's not as big of a deal. But if you have somebody shooting right by you.
Yeah.
That's when
I tell you what, that's just the whole hearing and eye safety stuff. I used to work for the Wildlife Services, and I was, shooting or harassing wildlife and trying to get them to disperse the airport.
Right.
And I was, taking doves or other birds, shooting bird bangers and stuff out the window, and my right ear got like would just ring for like days. Yeah. So I take hearing protection, ear safety, glass safety to the next level. And so Jace has his own eyeglasses, clear glasses that he wears, right. And so never can be too cautious.
Yeah.
Selective hearing, though, when the wife asks. I didn't hear what you said.
I screwed up my hearing bad last year. I made the mistake. I think I had Charlotte out on my uncle's, and it was early muzzleloader, so she couldn't use the 350. She had to use my smokeless. And it was last light, and had a buck walk out, and I'm filming everything, and she's trying to see through it, and she can kind of see the deer, and I'm like, are you on him? Yeah. And I'm kind of in the camera did something, and I'm up by it, and I'm like, okay, shoot. Well, I didn't realize
muzzle was out the window.
The muzzle brake, it was out the window, but it was like a foot away from, and all of that hit the side of my face, and it took.
It's like getting punched in the face.
It took like 9 months to even have half of my hearing back.
Yeah,
and
those guns are loud.
It's still to this day rings.
I'd say probably 90% of the hunters out there probably haven't heard one or shot one, but they are loud.
Right. Well, there's a muzzle. They'd be even worse without the muzzle brake.
Right. And I when I went and picked mine up when Hollis made it, they were having a smokeless muzzleloader like Midwest challenge or something.
Right.
That Nate ended up winning. But when I got out of the truck, it was just like, what the heck is going on? Like, these are so loud. It was kind of cool watching them shoot, but after a while I went and I think Hollis got me some hearing protection because it was unbearable.
Yeah, even if you're not right there, it's bad.
Yeah, it's loud,
but
very loud. So yes, you gonna go early muzzleloader? No. I might. Jen's got a trip. I'll see if I can work it in there. I like to go early muzz. I didn't go last year because I went shotgun hunting with you, but early muzz I've killed some good deer, so we'll see. I don't know. I got some options.
Right.
If she's gonna be around, which I don't think she is, I'll have to check her schedule, but I might do the late muzz.
That seems, as long as it gets semi-cold, that just seems to be the ticket around here.
It seems like you're picking up scraps, though. Like you get all the shotgun hunters to go through and kill whatever they want and fill their tags, rightfully so. But I always feel like those deer are in spots that are completely different, and they're not around where I'm at because I don't hunt a big section like some of those guys that have all the food, like you down south. Like you got a good spot where you have the food, you lay muzzleloader. So that's why I go early, and I've had success doing that.
No, and I mean, and that's the exact opposite for me. Like I'd never see, like you have to hit it just right to have a big deer there, and I'm still using my bow. Yeah. Like if I'm not going to grab a gun tag if I saw my bow tag, right. Unless it's late season, then I'm filling the late season tag before I fill the bow tag. Just to get one killed.
Yeah.
But it's so hit and miss. I've never, the thing that deters me, is I've shotgun hunted, party hunted since I was 12 years old. I mean, 20 years. So I've been doing it 20 years, and I love it. It is the most fun 2 days deer hunting. Don't worry about the video camera. Don't do anything like that, and just go out and have fun and shoot deer. But
yeah, those days are going to be long gone here in the next, I would say, 10 years. Like, you just don't see those new groups being formed.
That's fine.
Of our age, or, eventually you're going to be the one running it, and you're going to be trying to get these younger guys. And hopefully we get some more people out, some youth that get their hunter safety, that want to be in the outdoors.
But I've said it in the past, I won't take my kids shotgun hunting.
Yeah.
If they were boys, and that sounds really different. Bad to say, but my girls are not big hunters. Yep. They like to go because I like them to go. They still have fun. They still enjoy it, but they're not going to walk around for a weekend up and down hills and any of that stuff. That they're just not going to do it. If they were boys and they were into that a little bit more, which they probably would be, then
Yeah, and
then
there
I would
is
cross that bridge.
some girls, hardcore girls out there that maybe, you know, have a different kind of lifestyle than your girls do.
Right, they're girly girls, but they like to do the outside stuff too. They fish a little bit, they
Yeah.
hunt a little bit.
It's
but
just not going to be their thing. Where you got Jace that walks around with a cicada and he's a complete nature boy. Like
right. My kids are scared of butterflies. So
Jace so when we had that party at neighbors 2 Saturdays ago, he was falling asleep in the chair with a toad in his hand, and while the guys were singing karaoke. So I mean, he's a little bit opposite of them, but at least they're going with you. At least they like to get out and, you know, they're spending quality time with you, and they're not at home.
Yep, yeah, and they enjoy it. And like Charlotte wants to go dove hunting at night. I may take her tonight. I don't know. We don't really have anything going on.
4:21.
It gets dark at like 7. So with doves, you have to stop at sunset. It's not half hour after. So I think it's like 7, close to 7 o'clock. So even if we go out there for an hour,
some more dove poppers on the menu.
More dove poppers. Take the dog with. He enjoyed it.
He's doing good
For never being trained how to retrieve a bird. I mean, it was a good
That's how you start him, man.
He was flopping, and I have no desire to take him bird hunting.
And he didn't eat it though, right?
He didn't eat it. That was the surprise.
So Daisy would always eat the first couple.
I thought for sure he was going to chow it down, but like he had it in his mouth, and he was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he was like trying to run and hide. I think if I let him have it,
he would have chewed it up.
He would have ate it.
Yeah.
Because he chews on everything at home. But I was really, really surprised that he didn't
brought it to you, and
I mean he
kind of dropped it.
He gave it up.
Yeah, he didn't know exactly what to do, but you take him out a few more times.
Yeah, and like I said, I've never once trained him to fetch with something like we've thrown stuff around.
So you shot the bird and it fell down.
Yep.
Because you hit it.
Yep.
And he ran out like as soon as he seen you fall, or did you call him like, hey?
It was 50-50 because he didn't really know 100% what was going on. He didn't know what he was supposed to do, and so we went out there,
looked around.
Yep, found it. Like, okay,
bring it back,
pick it up, and he picked it up, and then I walked back, and he walked back, and he got it.
Yeah,
so.
I having a lab is, Jen and I go through this all the time with Daisy passing. It's like, at what point do we need another dog, and will the dog fill her shoes? I doubt it, but we need something. So Jace grows up, and I can go. I don't want to go waterfowl hunting now. I don't really want to go dove hunting, but maybe that will change. So seeing your pup grow up and doing those things, like, okay, I miss that. Like, it's so exciting when they bring a dove back, and then they can, hey, sit at home with you and go outside, go fishing or whatever, just so you have some camaraderie. So
and he's a super chill.
And he's a
lab.
silver lab.
Silver lab.
So
he's it's weird. He's super chill, and like,
does he like to fight? Like, does he bite your hand and play rough?
He will, but he won't do it rough. Like, it's really weird. Like, most labs are just psycho all the time. But he's just as likely to jump up on the couch and lay on your lap.
Just chill.
Yeah. So he just is super chill.
I think eventually we'll get a lab.
I mean,
I'm biased, but those are my favorite dogs.
Right. So. I mean, if you're going to do anything outdoors, I mean, unless you are a specific bird hunter or coon hunter, or something, unless it's for something specific, a lab's pretty good all around. Like, if you pheasant hunt a little bit, you duck hunt a little bit, you dove hunt, whatever, they're retrievers.
Yeah.
But I got him to shed hunt. That's that's my thing.
Yeah.
I had Otis, my old yellow, for almost 14 years, and we had to put him down like probably right on 2 years ago now, and it took us a year and a half before finally it was okay.
Yeah, I completely know where you're at there, but he was, I remember story. I could tell stories all day when shed hunting with you, and he came up behind Nick and I with that big giant shed, and Nick's like, "Look at that!" I'm like, "Holy crap!" We walked right by that.
Yep.
Come out of the creek with a big shed. That was to the hammerbuck, right?
No, that was Big Brow.
Big Brow.
That big 8.
Yeah, that was
that Mike DeGeese ended up killing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on Primetime Bucks, one of the old ones.
Primetime Bucks 9?
If you ever want to go back and watch it, it's on Primetime Bucks somewhere. But yeah, he and that was the thing. He was never one of those, like, there's guys that train their labs now and stuff like that where they send them out like bird dogs. You go to a section, like, go hunt, and they'll do this. He just likes to run around, but he
was good at shed hunting.
He got to where you would see him or smell him, and he would turn on a dime and go and get him.
See, Daisy was not good at shed hunting, but she was good at, you know, I would yell at her, she'd stop, look around, and I'd give her hand signals, and she would go off that way. But she'd go, remember when we were shooting teal, and she disappeared? I thought she died too. We were like, hey, guys, we got to stop shooting at these teal at Big Marsh because we can't find Daisy. And
I don't even, whatever happened.
she was just looking for ducks, swimming around, living her life, being free.
Well, that was one of those where there were so many boats out there, so many ducks.
Like,
and
it was
like
just Lear jets flying over nonstop. My dad, bobblehead, was out there just boom, 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 like just
everywhere.
shooting. Yeah, it was fun.
And it was one huge barrage, and
then it was done.
and
we drove an hour back home.
Yeah, we didn't even sleep that night. We
drove all the way.
Yeah, we drove from, because you live down south, right?
Was I in Odessa? I don't know.
We drove through and picked up your dad.
Okay.
And then went straight up.
And that's when my waders are leaking, right? We had the heater in there, and Daisy laid on your chest, and
we tried to like sleep in there.
Yeah, it didn't work. We had donuts, and
it was horrible.
I haven't been duck hunting in a long time, but we should try to go. We sold all the decoys, but
and probably get a hold of some avians and.
Yeah, go with Morgan. Morgan, if you're watching this, we're going duck hunting with you. Just
right, yeah. It's like, why not? I've sold all my waterfowl stuff over the years just because I don't have time to do it.
Right, and we have completely, like, these things have just taken over our lives. Like,
I used to all I did when I was growing up was waterfowl.
But you lived in the
Northern Iowa,
Mecca, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you had potholes and.
Oh yeah, we used to. Me and a buddy Austin, we would go duck hunting every single morning before school. We had late start, and if the birds were still flying, I'd call my dad and be like, "Hey, can you call us in late?" And we would show up at least once a week late for second period or whatever because we were shooting birds.
That's fun.
And then you just get done.
Yeah, so we should probably try. You know, you've gone goose hunting.
Yeah, I've done it.
So you've done, and I used to go with Mitch goose hunting, just north of Ankeny. That was probably one of the last times I went waterfowl hunting. But maybe we take your dog out and go. You know, we used to jump potholes and do that back in the Kirkwood
we lived
days.
In Iowa City, we shot a lot of ducks.
Random, bluebills and.
Yeah, it was fun. It was something we can go and kill time before we went deer hunting that night.
Yep. So. Yeah, we should try that again.
It's fun. I miss it sometimes. Like I said, it's not where I wanted it to be.
It's a lot of work. And you don't realize that till you go. It's like, man, I got a canoe out here, or kayak or whatever, throw out the decoys, and then I got
wet and cold.
Wet and mud. My gun, is frozen and it won't go off. And
it's like I have no problem going with somebody, and I'll put in my monetary value to help and all that stuff. I'll put in the time for you guys. But
that's why we put like all the chips in the whitetail basket, because we don't do that anymore, and I would say we're almost 99% like just straight deer like all the time. There's a little bit
time of year,
a little bit of fishing
in the fall. In
the fall it's all, but really we don't go fishing that much. We didn't go this past spring because the water levels and
right. We used to walleye fish all the time.
Yes,
I went
or crappie fish.
Or I used to crappie fish 3-4 times a week.
Yeah. You go to the pond, or we go to Saylorville and take the little boat.
Yeah.
You yelled at by the million dollar dock people.
Yeah, I haven't went crappie fishing in like 2 or 3 years. Sneak out behind my house every once in a while, but that's it.
Yeah,
I really haven't fished in a couple of years. I miss it, but at the same time, I'm so busy. Kids get older, doing all that stuff, and
I've taken Jace a few times. He just caught some nice bass yesterday. So but I don't go out as much as I should, or he wants to go. So
right, got to roll with the punches.
So should we go put up a pop-up line for Jace on your way out of here? Or?
Yeah, it's like I said, this will air, youth season weekend, the Sunday of, and so hopefully next podcast we have some youth season stories.
Yeah, we have some recaps of some hunters in youth season, and those crops are coming out pretty quick. There's a lot of combines out there rolling. I mean, it's September 11th,
and I think we're right on the cusp of getting our video podcast
so we can have people come in
for remote stuff all figured out. A little bit more time, and I think we'll be able to do it. So
I like it.
That'll be fun. Be one more element to it. So, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Go. Yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time.